किसी का भी हो सर, कदमों में सर अच्छा नहीं है.
Thank you very much, Javed sir, for that.
I hope so.
So you can still hope that you will grow to be like your father.
Thank you. That's the most horrible thing somebody has told me in my life. Thank you very much.
My friends, I mean, I just thought that began with some light conversation, but they're going off in a completely different direction.
But the direction is that Latin America, which is known for its horrors and its magical realism, both of which we did deplore, is a very humorous land, full of vitality, just like India. You know?
Nobody knows, but we are very funny.
Yes.
Well, when you say it out like that,
We've just discovered how funny we are. We have to come here.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
it happens to
business,
us.
I'm afraid.
Now,
10 minutes at
now
the
we're
end.
going to tap dance a little bit like this.
I have to say, this is the most entertaining times I ever had at the JLF in many years. Okay, some serious stuff. You know, what we want to do in the little while we have tonight among a lot of very interested people who read Latin American novels is to discuss newer novels than the ones most Indians know, which is the generation of Vargas Llosa, Fuentes, and Marquez. And it seemed to me that before we look at new books, we have to look at the new ideas that stand above them. And I wondered, first of all, whether we should, for once and for all, abandon this very difficult and stereotypical and misleading term, magic realism.
Yeah, well, I'll start by saying that I really don't like that term at all. And I don't like it for several reasons, but the first one is that when you say magical realism, you're speaking about a style. And a style meaning you turn reality into something magical. You, the artificer, the thaumaturger, you know, the magician, do that. And I think that's the wrong way of looking at it, because it's not a style which you can copy to be marketed in a certain way. And therefore, if, for instance, he writes a novel where you don't have virgins levitating, then there's 100,000 less readers, you know? And worse still, if I have a fantasy where somebody is in a room and is destroying the reality of the people next door through a television camera, that's not magical realism. Or why am I not being magical realist? Can I just be fantastic? I mean, is that so? So it's this pressure from the market and from a certain exotic vision of Latin America, you know, that I things. They want to discover, they want to ask questions, they don't want answers to things, you know? And therefore, the relation between the popular and the high culture, as you say, in Latin America, especially from my generation onwards, this is a generation of Sergio Ramirez, of Scarmeta, people who, you know, Il Postino, for instance, okay? The typical, many of you have seen that film, right? Il Postino, the Italian film based upon a Chilean novel. Well, there you have a typical relation between Pablo Neruda, one of the greatest poets that humanity has ever created, right? And a very ordinary postman who needs Neruda to teach him how to do verse so he can seduce the girl that he loves. So this relationship between the popular and the high is a constant question for Latin America, and you can't go without it. You need Shakespeare, but Shakespeare himself did it. So it's always being repeated. It's just in Latin America, the popular is right there at the door immediately. I insist that it's very much like India in that sense.
No, I totally agree. We are, precisely because we are not so popular as TV or cinema, we can be more free because there's less money involved. You are cheaper.
The less money, the better.
You don't have to pay for a book, you don't have to pay $4 million as you must pay for a film or TV, and that makes us more personal and more, we don't need to worry about the producer who was very left-wing and very